Hey guys, welcome to the very first video of your actual science content and the very first unit, which is the scientific method and measurements. To begin with, we are actually going to start by talking about measurements. If you look around you, measurements are everywhere. If you're going to buy clothes, what size do you wear or how many do you want to buy? Same for shoes. What size of shoes do you wear? These are all measurements. If you're going to buy vegetables, how many pounds of vegetables or how many kilos of vegetables do I need to buy? How many sack of potatoes do I need to buy? These are all measurements. So even if you don't notice it, you are using it all the time. And what we are going to talk about specifically is a particular system called the International System of Units, or specifically the SI units, which is a short form for the same. And these are normally used for very commonly used in scientific measurements, all measurements and experiments all over the world. Specifically because if everybody is using the same system, there is no way they're going to confuse the numbers between one project versus the other. So it's definitely easier for everyone if they actually stick by one system and follow that throughout. We are going to learn about three specific units, one for mass, one for length, and one for volume. Now, we just said the three main base units, but even in the metric system, it is further divided into 7 units. And these are the 7 units, the ones that you see right over here, with milli being the smallest and kilo being the largest. And the base unit is basically the middle part. And this is where you insert either meter, liter, or gram. And a fun mnemonic for you guys to remember this is King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. Now each word also aligns with the first letter of these units, so you guys can remember it easily. And first we're going to look at weight or mass. For our purposes, we are going to assume that they are one and the same, and they can be defined as the measure of the amount of matter in an object. And obviously, the most basic unit that we use to measure this is gram. And gram is actually very light. Think about the weight of a dollar bill. You don't even feel it much in your hand when you hold it. It's that light. Or a stick of chewing gum is probably a little more than a gram. And this is the measurement that you would use to measure such small scale objects. But if you were going to measure something heavier, like a sack of potatoes or other vegetables or your own weight, you would use kilograms. And this is what you would use to measure something that's more lifelike or more heavier. And to be exact, if you want to think about something that's 1 kilogram, think about a cube that's 10 centimeters long, wide, and tall, and is filled with water. That would probably weigh about 1 kilograms. And like I said, milli is the smallest unit. So obviously, when it comes to weight, milligram is going to be the smallest unit that we're going to study about. And it's only 1,000th of a gram. So can you think about that? You can barely feel the weight of a dollar bill in your hand, so you probably will not even feel the weight of a milligram. If you've noticed on your medicines or tablets, if you take any, you might see, 500 mg prescription or a 200 mg prescription. Mg stands for milligram. So that's basically telling you that it has a dosage of 200 milligrams or whatever it is in your particular medication. And that's the amount of drugs that you're taking for a particular treatment. Next, we have distance or length. Distance or length, I don't think it needs further explanation. You're measuring how long or wide or tall a thing is, an object is. And when you're trying to measure that, you would use a meter. Again, if you're measuring something that's on larger scale, like buildings or distance between cities or states or countries, you will use kilometers. But if it's smaller, like the measurement of your table or your height, you would probably use meters. And if it's something even smaller, like that of ruler or your shoes, you might even use centimeters. So depending on what object you're using, you would use a different unit to measure everything. And I hope you don't have further questions about it. But again, please do go ahead and contact me if you have any questions, and do log into our Zoom live meeting so I can help you guys in every way I can. These are all detailed notes that I have for you guys. So go ahead and read all of these. Go ahead and reread them if that's what helps you the most. And finally, we have volume. Volume is, it's something that takes space, right? When you go buy a Coke bottle, and the amount of space that the Coke takes in that bottle can be measured as the volume. So to be very specific, volume is the measurement of the size of a body or a region in three-dimensional space. And the one way we do measure volume is by using the unit liter. Now, if you want to measure something like, how much does my bottle, what is the volume of my water bottle or a Coke bottle, you would probably use liter. But if you want to measure something bigger, like, what is the volume of my swimming pool, you would probably use kiloliter. But if you want to measure something very, very tiny, like, what's the dosage of cough syrup that I have to take for my coughs? That's when I would use milliliter, which is even smaller. Now, if you want to imagine the volume, hold on 1 second. Yes. So the volume of a cube that is 1 meter long, 1 meter wide, and 1 meter tall is probably what 1 kiloliter would be. That is a lot, but when you actually think about it, it might not be a lot, but yeah. And that is most of the information that I have for you guys. Again, do contact me if you have any questions, guys. And this is the video that I want you guys to watch for doing the independent practice. And after that, you guys can go ahead and click on your resources, and here you will have the link to complete the activity. When you click on it, it will just take you there. And that's all I have for you guys. I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you later.